Hello, I'm Dr. Aruna Saman. In this video, we are going to discuss applications of biotechnology. Man has been using biotechnology to improve the quality of human life. Biotechnology covers broad spectrum of applications used in many sectors. In this video, we will be focusing on four major sectors which are healthcare, agriculture, gene therapy, and genetically modified organisms, under which we will be discussing transgenic plants and transgenic animals. Healthcare. Healthcare biotechnology refers to therapeutic, diagnostic products and vaccines. When we say therapeutic products, we are referring to the treatment given for curing of the disease, which includes medicines also. Diagnostic means identification of illness, its causes, and its symptoms. Whereas vaccines are antigenic proteins of pathogens which are introduced in human or animal body for the prevention of the disease by creating acquired immunity. Recombinant DNA technology is used for creating various therapeutic proteins and vaccines. These therapeutic proteins are called R proteins or recombinant proteins. In this table, we can see few examples of human diseases or conditions for which transgenic proteins are used as therapeutics or vaccines. In diabetes, insulin is produced with the help of bacteria for diabetes. For asthma, interleukin 1 receptor is produced using recombinant DNA technology. For hepatitis B, the vaccine gets produced using rDNA technology. For anemia, the erythropoietin, and for parturition condition, relaxin is used, which is a R protein produced using recombinant DNA technology. Biotechnology also provides unique, targeted, and personalized therapeutic and diagnostic solutions to the patients. Each human body is a unique design. So instead of using generic treatment, the biotechnology provides the tailor-made treatment. And this becomes possible due to the progress made in different fields such as gene probes, genetic counseling, karyotyping, forensic medicine, stem cell therapy, gene organ transplant, and DNA fingerprinting. Let us talk about two products which could be produced using recombinant DNA technology. These are edible vaccines and melt-in-mouth vaccine. The vaccines, as we know, are the pathogenic proteins, immunogenic proteins, or attenuated pathogen themselves introduced or injected in the human or animal body. But here we are talking about the vaccine which is given to the human body through its regular food. It is edible vaccine. Let us have a look at the flowchart for making of this edible vaccine. The gene which encodes for the immunogenic protein in that pathogenic bacteria, that gene is isolated from that pathogen. This gene is then introduced in the plant genome using recombinant DNA technology. The plant in which this gene is introduced is regularly consumed by human being. The immunogenic protein get produced in the parts of the plant where it finds its expression. For example, in potato plant, if this gene is introduced, then that immunogenic protein gets produced in the potato tubers. These, when are eaten by animals or mainly the humans, people become vaccinated, they get vaccinated against that pathogen. The other product is melt-in-mouth vaccine. It is unique for its administration. These are administered by placing them under the tongue. The vaccine gets delivered into the bloodstream and becomes available to the body very fast. The advantages are it has low cost of production, it is easy to store and easy to administer. The example is flu vaccine by Bacillus. Let us talk about another product of biotechnology, recombinant DNA technology, and that is human insulin or humulin. We all know that insulin is a hormone produced by pancreas, the beta cells of islets of Langerhans. Insulin is necessary for controlling the blood sugar level, but some people cannot make insulin themselves, and that results into suffering of a disease, diabetes mellitus. Insulin, if we see the molecular structure, it has two short polypeptide chains, chain A and chain B. And these two chains are linked via disulfide bridges. Each connecting link has two sulfur atoms and therefore it is a disulfide bridge. During recombinant DNA technology method of this humulin production, first the host produces a precursor, inactive form, which is penicillinase plus preproinsulin. And then we need to give trypsin treatment to it for the extraction of insulin in the active form. So these are the precursor of chain A and chain B. Once again, with the help of flow chart, we will understand this human insulin formation. In recombinant DNA technology, there is a vector used. In this case, it is a plasmid, PBR322. It has beta-galactosidase marker gene. The passenger gene or foreign gene used are insulin gene for subunit A and subunit B. So there are two different genes. The two genes are introduced in separate vectors and then in separate host. Here we can see the PBR322 with beta-galactosidase gene and attached to that the insulin gene A subunit and B subunit as foreign genes. So this is a recombinant or chimeric plasmid produced. The host is E. coli bacteria. And once the host gets transformed, then inside it, it will produce the precursor of insulin A and insulin B, which will be the fusion proteins. So here we can see the host bacterial cell, E. coli bacteria, and the fusion proteins being produced. Then by trypsin treatment, the extraction is done. Separate units of insulin A and insulin B protein get extracted, and then these two units are linked by disulfide bridges. Thus it gets converted into active insulin. Now we will talk about the next sector, that is agriculture. The most commonly used techniques of biotechnology in agriculture are recombinant DNA technology and tissue culture. The recombinant DNA technology gives rise to genetically modified organisms, which may be plant, animal, or microorganisms, and they in general improve agricultural productivity. The tissue culture includes one technique, micropropagation. This technique is commonly used especially for preservation of germ plasm, and it becomes necessary to preserve the germ plasm especially in the plants which produce recalcitrant seeds, the seeds which have very low humidity and therefore on storage they lose their viability. They cannot be used for propagation, or those seeds which are highly variable. For them, in those cases, the micropropagation is the best technique available in biotechnology. Gene therapy. In certain circumstances, this gene therapy is the best therapy, especially when the disease is caused due to absence or abnormality of the gene. In gene therapy, such disease is treated by replacing, altering, or introducing a new gene. The different diseases which can be treated are sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, etc. There are different ways by which we can use gene therapy. The few ways are discussed here. Replacement of defective or introduction of missing gene. Deliver gene that speed the destruction of cancer cells. So for cancer treatment, we can use gene therapy. Use bacterial or viral gene as form of vaccination. So for the making of vaccine. So for cancer treatment, for vaccination, for replacement or introduction of new gene, for weakening of viral multiplication, we can use gene therapy. The gene therapy are of two types: germline gene therapy and somatic cell gene therapy. Germline gene therapy is used in reproductive cells such as sperm, egg, embryo. Whereas somatic cell, they are, as the name suggests, the somatic cells are used in this therapy, such as the liver cells, hepatic or lung cells, pulmonary cells, bone marrow. When germline therapy is applied, the information gets transmitted generation after generation. Whereas here in somatic cell therapy, the effect is seen only in the person undergoing the treatment. The germline therapy is not encouraged, especially in human beings, due to ethical reasons. Whereas somatic cell gene therapy is the only therapy available for the treatment of acquired genetic disorders. The next sector we are going to discuss is genetically modified organisms, especially transgenic plants. The recombinant DNA technology gives rise to transgenic plants, and these plants can be used for different purposes, such as for the production of insect pest resistant plants, for improving nutritional quality, for modifications in post-harvest characters, for using plants as factories, and for edible vaccines. Let us discuss one by one these 5 ways by which we can use transgenic plants. First one is insect pest resistant. Instead of using chemical pesticides or even biological pesticides, the best way is to produce a plant which itself is pest resistant. For that, one example we can take is the donor, that is the gene from Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria is taken, and it is the cry gene and is introduced into the host like cotton, brinjal, tomato, etc. So desired foreign gene is cry gene. This gene is responsible for production of a protein in cotton, brinjal, tomato or the host plant, and that protein proves to be toxic to the pests which are responsible for the destruction otherwise of those plants. But once this gene gets introduced, then those pest organisms cannot destroy the plant, they themselves get killed. So this particular you can say variety which is produced works against the bollworm and insects of order Lepidoptera, Diptera, Coleoptera. Another example of creation of such insect pest resistant variety is the gene is taken from Phaseolus vulgaris or Adzuki bean, and that gene is alpha amylase inhibitor gene. It is especially used in tobacco plant, and then this plant, once it gets formed then becomes pest resistant against the pest such as these. Next way of using transgenic plant is improved nutritional quality. So recombinant DNA technology gives rise to transgenic plants which can be used for the production of functional food or nutraceuticals. The process is also called biofortification. These nutraceuticals, they besides natural original content, they have some additional nutritive substances and therefore they are also called functional foods. Nutraceuticals because they are used as a medicine for the treatment of the deficiency of that particular nutrient. Otherwise, the deficiency of that nutrient may give rise to a disease, but that disease gets avoided due to this fortified food. We will understand the examples of such biofortified foods. The rice. Rice is, you can say, is made fortified with vitamin A. This vitamin A acts as antioxidant and this could become possible because of the phytotin synthase and lycopene cyclase genes which are introduced in the rice. We call such transgenic rice plant as golden rice. Or canola variety, which is a oil producing plant. The oil quality gets improved especially in vitamin E because of introduction of this particular gene, transgene in canola plant. We can take the example of tomato plant where flavonoid content gets increased and that happens due to this particular gene getting introduced in tomato. This is transgenic tomato. So also the sugar beet and rice plant fortified with the iron content and that is because of the introduction of ferritin gene into this rice plant. So iron fortification has occurred. The third way of using transgenic plant is modification in post-harvest characters. The endogenous enzyme activity usually controls the physiological changes. We can take the example of tomato. The enzyme polygalactonurease is responsible for breaking down of the cell wall containing pectin and softening of that fruit wall during ripening. But as a result of these physiological changes, great deal of losses occur during storage and transport activities, such as the products may get affected by disease and pest, bruising on soft fruits and vegetables happens, heat and cold storage damages the texture of the product, over-ripeness also happens, and loss of flavors and odor. In case of tomato, what example we have taken, during its storage, once they are harvested, then before they are transported, the tomatoes get easily bruised and damaged on shipment. But genetic engineering has made it possible to slow down these physiological changes and that way to avoid these post-harvest characters occurring in that product. So in case of tomato, genetic engineering has produced genetically modified tomato variety. It is called flavor saver tomatoes. And due to that, the polygalactonurease is inhibited by antisense genes and tomatoes can remain on vine or during storage also they remain intact and can be transported in firm solid state. Thus, the transgenic plants have improved in post-harvest characters. Plants as factories. Plants are used as potential factories or bioreactors for high-value biochemicals such as starch, sugar, lipid, proteins. These are routinely produced in the plants, and they can be used as novel biochemicals and vaccines. Thus, they can have the status of biopharmaceuticals. Different commercially important products that can be produced using recombinant technology are fine chemicals, perfumes, adhesive compounds, industrial lubricants, biodegradable plastic, and renewable energy crop to replace the fossil fuels. Biopharmaceuticals. Recombinant DNA technology when gives rise to the transgenic plants. These transgenic plants produce various compounds which might be proteins, hormones, antibodies, vaccines, enzymes, etc. But some type of proteins which are produced from these transgenic plants can be used as antibodies. Instead of vaccines, antibodies are used for the treatment of certain diseases. These proteins can used as hormones, especially human growth hormone example is commonly given. This hormone is produced by the gene inserted into chloroplast DNA of tobacco plant. The proteins can also be used as vaccines and they can be used as enzymes. Commercially important novel products used from transgenic plants are adhesive protein, super glue for body repairs during surgery, oil that has nutritional value similar to cod liver oil, anti-malarial drug artemisinin, and more powerful painkillers. Now, how these novel products are produced by recombinant DNA technology? For production of adhesive protein, which is used as superglue, a gene from marine mussel is used. This gene helps that animal to stick to rocks, and this gene is introduced into tobacco plant to produce transgenic tobacco, and from that tobacco plant we can extract this adhesive protein. For oil, which is similar to cod liver oil, the gene from marine algae which encodes for oil is taken and is introduced into suitable transgenic plants from which the oil gets extracted. Suitable transgenic plant is used for the production of this anti-malarial drug, and the opium plant is used for making more powerful painkillers by using recombinant DNA technology. The opium plants are transgenic opium plants. Edible vaccine, we have already discussed about this. These are genetically altered plants and they provide protection to infectious diseases. Most commonly used plants are potato, tomato, banana, soybean, etc. The advantages is it is inexpensive to produce, they are thermostable, they remain active for longer duration, and they can easily be made available, especially in developing countries. Let us talk about transgenic animals now. An animal in which there has been a deliberate modification of the genetic material, manipulation is done of the genetic material in contrast to spontaneous mutation. So recombinant DNA technology gives rise to transgenic animals. Foreign DNA is transmitted through germline. We have seen the germline therapy and somatic cell therapy. So germline is used here, and every cell, including germ cell of the animal, contains the same modified genetic material. Transgenic animal, we are going to discuss mice, which is used in cancer research, farm animals, cattle and food production, cattle and therapeutic use, transgenic sheep, transgenic pig, transgenic fish, and transgenic chicken. Let us discuss one by one these uses of transgenic animal. The wide range of application of transgenic animal, if we consider, then they are used in medical research to identify the function of specific gene in human system. Toxicology, to study the response of test animals for various poisonous materials. Molecular biology, pharmaceutical industry, biotechnology, genetic engineering, and xenografting. Here xenografting is to create the animal which can be used in tissue and organ transplantation. The use of transgenic pig, we are going to discuss this special benefit we get from transgenic pig, that is they are used in xenografting. Mice and cancer research, the mouse variety, it is transfected with particular oncogene, the cancer causing gene, and the possible research in that transgenic rat or mouse is relationship between oncogene and cancer development is understood. The research into cancer treatment can be done, and how the cancer can be prevented, that also can be found out, studied using this transgenic mice. Transgenic farm animals, different farm animals such as cow, pig, chicken, goat, etc. They are transfected with desired foreign gene, and desired characters can be obtained in those farm animals, such as efficiency of meat production. This is done in case of pig, chicken, goat, improved quality of meat, milk quality and quantity, egg production in chicken, wool quality and quantity in case of sheep, disease resistance in case of most of the animals, and production of low cost pharmaceutical and biologicals. Cattle and food production. The appropriate cattle variety is taken and it is introduced with bovine beta or kappa casein gene. These are the important proteins present in the milk. And what is possibly achieved in that milk? The effect on the milk content is improved with respect to beta casein and kappa casein. Cattle and therapeutic. Again, appropriate cattle variety is used and it is transfected with desired foreign gene and various human therapeutic proteins, human lactoferrin, human alpha-lactoalbumin. These are all can be obtained in the milk of that cattle. Transgenic sheep. The sheep variety is transfected with hormone gene such as bacteria gene cis-E, cis-M, and the study is done on the effect on growth and meat production as well as improved quality of wool with keratin content. Transgenic pig. Pig variety is transfected with desired foreign gene and effect on growth, meat production as bioreactor is studied. Pig cloning for production of organs and tissues for human transplant is the most important thing achieved by transgenic variety of pig. The heart of the pig, the valves of the pig are used or they can be grafted in human heart, and such procedures are called xenotransplantation. And in this xenotransplantation, the transgenic pigs are of most important. The transgenic fish varieties are introduced with certain genes, growth hormones, and what we can study is their increased cold tolerance useful for storage purpose, effect on growth quality and quantity of fish proteins, and how it can be made use in preservation. Transgenic chicken. The chicken variety is transfected with desired foreign gene, and what things can be achieved in that chicken variety. Built-in resistant to viral and coccidial diseases, better feed efficiency, better meat quality, and eggs with lower fat and cholesterol level, but with high protein content can be achieved in these transgenic chickens. We have come to the end of our discussion on application of biotechnology. Thank you.